Learn how Mr. Leo booked 57 outdoor puppet shows from April to July 2020. Join our Patreon now. Link in the description.
I want to know, in your opinion, what will be the best field of study to become a puppeteer? Like maybe in our time, like right now.
What? How
The
would
field of study, like what is the best to know to become puppeteer?
Well, hey, you want to know something? Use me as a guinea pig. I knew nothing, absolutely nothing about puppetry. I saw a puppet, and I spoke to someone yesterday that owns a huge company. They employ hundreds of people, an animatronic company here in Nashville. And he started as a puppeteer. And you know what? He said, I was 8 years old. I saw the Muppet movie, the first Muppet movie. And I knew that's what I wanted to be when I grew up. And his passion, I had such passion for it. I knew nothing, absolutely nothing. My first job in a vaudeville theater, this man came backstage and he said to me, you know, I'm a famous artist, but puppetry is my hobby.
Yeah.
Who are you? Where did you come from? I know every puppeteer. And, you know, how did you learn to do that? Who showed you? I said, I learned it all myself.
Yeah.
And it makes it more original. Don't copy someone, you know. I mean, it was amazing, the stuff that I did. In 1939, I went to the New York World's Fair. And you know what? That incredible fair. But all day I spent at the Wrigley building because they had a robot. No one ever saw a robot. And this robot, that's a puppet, right? I studied that robot all day long, you know? And then in my act, in my puppet act, I had a puppet of me that worked the puppet that juggled. And it didn't work. It was my encore. It didn't work. And the orchestra stopped. The old Cirque du Soleil trick, you know, the trapeze, she misses the trick. That's all staged to make the audience crazy. Okay, so I know all those vaudeville old tricks. So the orchestra would stop, I reload the puppet, and then it would start again, and it didn't work. So what did I do? The puppet that was working the puppet threw the puppet down, the control. So the puppet collapsed. I threw the control down of the puppet of me. It picked up the little puppet and it walked off by itself. That was my encore. And I never came back for a bow again, you know, and that was it. So you see, it all came from the robot.
Yeah.
And I found this guy, he was Japanese. He built robots. This is in 1952 or something, 52. Yeah. And he built that for me.
That's an impressive story.
No. So what I'm saying, you know, yeah, there are incredible books out there, but, you know, I have all those books, but I don't think I ever looked in them, you know? I just figured things out myself. That puppet that blew up a balloon, that blew me away. How did he do that? You know? But I thought that puppet was a real little person, or I wouldn't have cried when the balloon broke, you know? So that's how it all started. So now you're listening to, they call me the grandfather of puppetry. And, you know, and to tell you the truth, I wasn't a great puppeteer, you know, but I was a great, and I hate to say this, I'm not on an ego trip, an incredible showman, because I knew there was something that I was born with. I knew if it was too long, that's something that I see all the time. You know, they'll play a whole record. Don't do that. I suggest that whatever the tricks that the puppet can do, cut it in half, take it away from the eye and go to the next thing, you know, because things can become too long. And especially today, people just don't have the patience.
Mm.
And so, you know, I constantly see numbers that are just incredible, but just a little bit too long. Get rid of that.